Hey guys, welcome to this beginning guitar lesson. I usually do advanced guitar lessons, but I thought I would go back to my beginning lessons here for this session. So grab your guitar if you are a brand new guitar player just learning chords. This will be a good beginning lesson for you um, on how to read chord diagrams and also how to read guitar tabs for chords. Okay, so this is kind of an important lesson on two aspects of playing the guitar at a beginner level when you're just learning just to read the sheet music, either reading again these chord grids or diagrams, and or learning to read the tabs when you see a song and it says X 0 2220. You know it'll teach you how and where to put your fingers. So again, grab your guitar if you want to learn the basics. This lesson will be great for you. And I already have some of this on the board, so I'm going to start with this diagram here. There's many different possible ways to play a G major chord. This is one of them. This one I kind of nickname um, the rock G, or the big G. So when you look at this diagram here, I'm going to go ahead and erase this. I'll talk about this here next. I'm going to erase this part. You'll just see it say like this on the chart. So again, you have to imagine this as being your guitar like this. These are the strings, and it's going to your tuning keys over here, right? These are your tuners if you're on an acoustic guitar, that is. So imagine that. And imagine the fretboard being like this. The neck. See, it's just a mirror. I mean, not mirror, it's just like that way of looking at it. So these dots are to show you where you put your fingers. Okay. This is the third fret here, so nut here. So that's first fret, second fret, and third fret. These are the frets here, but we're going to put our fingers in the middle. Usually, I always recommend put your fingers toward the end of the frets. So for that chord right here, there, where is that chord? Can't point there. That chord, that's a G major chord. I call it the big G. Okay, so notice how my fingers are. I've got my middle finger here, first finger, then open, open, and then 3, 3. Now, this is how I want you to learn to communicate. 3, 2, 0, 0, 3, 3. That's how I always communicate with my students. That's a G chord, that what I call a big G. It sounds really fat. We got a double fifth here, 2/5, and 2 G's here, and then 1/3, 3 G's here, and then 1/3. There's a folk G like this that you can play, and that's a beautiful G as well. But for this one, I'm showing you this G. Okay, so the main point of this lesson here is to show you how to read these grids. Now, if you don't know what finger to use from this, that's where a guitar teacher would actually say what fingers to use. Now, when we're talking about our fingering, the thumb doesn't count. We use 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 4 fingers. Of course, the thumb you can wrap around. If you're a Jimi Hendrix or John Mayer fan, they'll play with their thumb on top like that. But traditionally, you're not going to use your thumb. But I'm not trying to say don't do it, because I do it all the time myself. But for this big G here, I'm doing it like this. And I'm using 2, 1, 3, and 4. So as a teacher, I would write this underneath these dots here, so you know 2, 1, 3, 4. Okay, so this lesson again is dedicated toward beginner guitar players who want to understand how to read chord diagrams and the tabs. Tabs is short for tablature, the numbers, and there's different methods. You can actually see a staff with tabs, or I'm going to show you another way to think about it. So that's the G chord here. And it's very important that you think this is the third fret, second fret. This 0 and that 0 is actually the open string, and then the third fret and the third fret. So again, no fingers here is needed to press down. Then play it again. That's your day 1 big G chord right here. Okay. Now, when I communicate to students in terms of the numbers, I will often say, I'm going to erase the guitar itself here, those strings that I drew, but I communicate in terms of the tabs, the numbers. So when I'm communicating to students online or in person, I'll say G, this G, the big G, is 320033. So this is kind of the tabs of it. 320033 and 3. And you'll see this on a lot of songs if you go to online and it just has a quick sketch of a song. You don't know the chord, it'll actually say 320033. And that way you can learn how it relates. You can then draw a chord grid if you need to. And then I got more specific by writing fingering. Now, on some tabs, when you actually see the sheet music like this is the tabs, you'll see it'll say tab like this, T, A, B. And you need 6 strings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it'll say 3, 2, 0, 0, 3, 3. And of course, that's that big G chord that I'm showing you there. But that's how that would look in terms of tabs. This way, 320033. But notice it's the same thing as thinking of it this way, looking down on your guitar, down this way, starting on the 6th string. This is your 6, by the way. 3, 2, open, open, or 0, 0, 3, and 3. So when I go to the next chord here, it's kind of pop rock guitar 101 here for you today. I'm going to go to this beautiful chord, C add 9. Very popular. You know, if you guys play Sweet Home Alabama, Green Day, you can hear a lot of this Taylor Swift, for that matter. C add 9. The reason why this one's important is this is a great second chord to learn on the guitar because we're taking this shape and we're just moving these 2 fingers down together in tandem, 1 string down that way. C add 9. So check out the tabs. This is the first thing that goes to my head. X. We're not going to play the 6th string. So we got to say X. 3, 2, 0, 3, 3. So now I'm going to scoot over to this chord here, C add 9. Okay, you can see that. I'll zoom in a little bit. And you don't need to worry about this one so much. Bye-bye, G. But let's focus on the C add 9 chord. Just go through a couple of these chords till you get it. The C add 9, same idea, but notice I put an X here. That means don't play. 3, 2, 0, 3, 3. And again, the fingerings now, you would see finger here on the 3rd. This, and again, it just shows you kind of in the middle of the fret, between the frets. Okay, this is the nut here. The nut is this piece, like that. So when I'm playing a C add 9 chord, I'm not playing this string, but my finger's lightly touching it so I can still strum. And I'm getting all 6 strings if I want to, but we're only hearing these 5 strings. So that's deadened, and that's where I'm saying that's an X. So it's X, 5, 3, 2, 0, 0, 3, 3. I'm going to say that again. C add 9 is X, that means nothing, 3, 2, 0, 3, 3. C add 9. Okay. The fingering is same fingering as that G. 2, 1, 3, 4. 2, 1, 3, 4. Now I know many of you have guitar books and you might say, hey, it doesn't show the fingering. And sometimes they don't show you the fingering. They want you to figure out the fingering. Sometimes the fingering's ambiguous and there can be multiple fingerings. So this is just the teacher's suggestion, in this case, my suggestion. So again, we don't need to have that there. I'll show you a couple more chords. This is fun. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy this. Hey, Jeffrey's back. Good to see you, Jeffrey. I'm going through some different topics today. This is fun. This is beginning pop rock guitar 101. How to read chord diagrams, how to read the tabs. And sometimes on the sheet music, if you purchase sheet music, it'll show you the staff here with the 6 strings of the guitar. It'll say tab, and a C9 would say 3, 2, 0, 0, 3, and 3. They won't do the X there. That's not necessarily, unless you actually hear it played. But this is C9 again. Okay? Very popular in pop rock guitar playing. Okay, you guys ready for another chord? Hey, someone else is learning a lot. I don't know who you are, but thanks for watching. Cool. This is what I love to do, so glad you are learning. I'm going to erase the C9, but we'll do a couple more chords. I want to make sure you guys get this. This is just beginning guitar 101. The other popular chord, of course, is D. D is a 4-string chord for the basic rock folk guitar. This chord. So I'm not playing the 6, and I'm not playing the 5th. That's where you're gonna see it say XX, and then 2, 0. That means the open string, and then 2, 3, 2. So when I describe a D chord to a student, and they say, Tracy, what's a D chord? Here's what I would say, XX 0, 2, 3, 2. And they would look at their guitar and say, okay, XX, don't play, 0, open, 2, 3, 2. And they'd strum these 4 strings. And that's your D chord. And D, you have to be careful to only strum these 4 and not these strings below. Otherwise, you'd have to kind of do some muting to try to deaden those strings. So at first, I just say, be careful about where you're starting your plucking or your strumming right here on the D string, the 4th string. So again, let's talk about the notation of it. Now you see the grid, 2, 3, 2. 0, 2, 3, 2, XX, XX, 0, 2, 3, 2. So again, that's how you should, sorry, it seems like there's a little bit of a glare there. Yeah, I'll have to go to this side of the board for more chords. XX, 0, 2, 3, 2, that's your D chord. Okay. Type in the chat if you guys are watching this and enjoying this lesson. I'm going to go through a few more chords with you so you get this basic guitar knowledge down, how to read tabs, chord diagrams especially, and then the chord grids. This will help you decipher any song, okay? So I'll get rid of this D. Let's go to an E minor chord. Love that chord. It's an epic song. You guys got to know E minor for your basic folk rock guitar playing. And if any of you are Taylor Swift fans, then you need that E minor chord. So here's how I would notate it. First of all, I would put EM or EM. I like EMI abbreviation. Now I'm going to draw the grid, the 6 like this, just a big box. I need the 6 strings. These are my frets. Okay, so I've got 6 strings. This is my 6th string, 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, and open string. In E minor chord, you got to have the open, the 2, open, open, open. So when you talk in terms of, Tracy, what's an E minor chord? I'd say 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. So an E minor equals, here, this is what you'd see on the when you download a song. it's a 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. That's how you would see it. That's E minor. I don't know, I didn't make that big enough for the screen. Probably I'll do it again. But E minor, and I'm gonna do it like this actually. You might not. And sometimes E minor could just be a minus sign like that. That's more of a jazz thing to do. But I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you're not a jazzer. You're learning to play the guitar. It's the basic guitar lesson. But EM or EMI, that's how I like to abbreviate it there. 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. You can see directly how it relates to the chord grid. So if you don't know E minor, it's an epic, beautiful chord, E minor. 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0. E minor. Learn to strum down, learn to strum up. Learn to, Okay, that's an E minor. So if I were to draw it now using notation like tabs, with the tablature system, not just me saying 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 0, I would say tabs, it's just tab, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I need 6 strings. It stacks up this way. So you have to think of it as the bottom low sounding E, B, E, G, B, E. Those are the name of the notes. It's the same 3 notes, but there's some doublings. There's even a triple, E, B, E, G, B, E. There's 3 E's, 2 B's, and 1 G in this chord shape. That's why it's so thick and epic. You have 2 fifths, you have 3 roots, E, 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 2 fifths, B in the B, and then the G in the middle to make it minor. And that's why if we wanted it major, we make it a G sharp. Major, minor. Now I did something interesting here to show you this for beginner guitar students. E minor can be played like this, or it can be played like this. It's gonna sound the same. You're not gonna know the difference if you didn't see my fingers. E minor like this, or E minor like this. You can even do it like this. And I would do this if I knew I was gonna bar chord. See what I mean? 3 different ways to play E minor. Like this, like this, like this. And each one has a purpose. I'll show you the reason why I would do it this way. I'll start with this way. This way to play E minor when I go to G. See, there's a common note. That's why I would play E minor like this. Now, why would I play E minor like this? When I'm coming from E major, see what I mean? Or maybe that bluesy sound. Now, why would I play E minor like this? When I know I'm gonna bar chord and play G major, E minor, see I'm sliding, A, G, E minor, G, A, B, E minor like this. Notice I'm not lifting my fingers. So again, that's a good demonstration of why be flexible with your fingering. There are multiple ways and reasons to play the same chord with different fingerings. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Let me know. I'm happy to do more beginner guitar lessons. I love teaching guitar at all levels, from beginning to advanced. Thanks for watching.